This is Ben Shalom, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Okay, so the WBC have finally released their new rankings. Better late than never, right? Anyway, I'm going to go through the top 15 as always, and then we're going to have a little bit of a chat about it. So make sure you are subscribed. Very, very important. So Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, is the WBC World Heavyweight Champion. Of course, he also holds the Ring Magazine Heavyweight Championship also. Number 1, Deontay Wilder. Number 2, Joe Joyce. Number 3, Joseph Parker. Number 4, Frank Sanchez. Number 5, Andy Ruiz Jr. Number 6, Arsenbek Makhmadov. Number 7, Dillian White. Number 8, Luis Ortiz. Number 9, Otto Wallin. Number 10, Robert Helenius. Number 11, Martin Bakole. Number 12, Zhan Kosabulski. Number 13, Michael Hunter. Number 14, Filip Hrgovic. And number 15, Ajit Kabayel. So that's the top 15. No massive changes compared to last month, but to be fair, not too many fights have taken place. The only person who's really fought off the top of my head since last month is probably Joe Joyce. So he maintains his number 2 position. But this goes to show that it doesn't matter what anybody does in this top 15, whether they get great wins, average wins, journeyman wins, whatever wins that they're going to get, nobody is allowed to take that number 1 spot from Deontay Wilder. Is it because the WBC are scared of Wilder? Did they have a deal with Wilder and the PBC? Who knows? But this is a Deontay Wilder. Of course, he's former WBC World Heavyweight Champion, no doubt. But he's lost his last 2 fights by knockout. Should not be number 1. He shouldn't be. He needs to earn that position. He needs to get it back by defeating 1 or 2 people in this top 15. Ideally, somebody in the top 5, minimum top 10, to maintain that kind of position. But it's a guy who hasn't fought in, well, quite some time, ever since he fought Tyson Fury. We don't even know for sure if he's coming back, but it goes to show either way, doesn't matter what anybody does, nobody's allowed that number 1 position. The WBC don't want anybody else to have it except Deontay Wilder. Listen, they've been wrapping him up in cotton wool for the longest time. Why change the habit of a lifetime? Now, the only real change in this top 15 is Zhan Kosabulski. Now, last time he fought was in March when he defeated Johan Duhaupas, as most people do defeat Johan Duhaupas. But I don't really know why he's jumped 3 positions. I'm not too sure. Is he still promoted by Frank Warren? I know that he's never been on a Frank Warren show, but Frank Warren is his promoter, or at least he was his promoter. So I don't quite know what the deal is. No idea. But other than that, there has been no real changes. But as I said before, it's only really Joe Joyce that's fought in the last 4 or 5 weeks that I'm aware of. But going forward, of course, potentially you could see Robert Helenius take on Deontay Wilder. That is a muted comeback fight for Deontay Wilder, so that would be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what happens with Dillian White going forward. Is he still going to go down the route of the WBC? Because now he is ranked in the IBF. So don't be surprised if he ends up taking on the winner of a Filip Hrgovic and Zhilei Zhang. Okay, but it'll be very interesting to see what happens with Dillian White. If not, I'd like to see him take on anybody in this top 15. Anybody will do, to be honest with you. Maybe Ajit Kabayel. That'd be ideal, I think. But as I said, outside of that, there is no real changes. Of course, you've got number 8, Luis Ortiz, and number 5, Andy Ruiz Jr. Of course, they're going to be fighting next month. But, I mean, will there be some kind of WBC belt on the line? You know, they are both PBC fighters. We know the relationship with the PBC and the WBC is quite strong. So potentially there could be some kind of trinket title on the line where the winner of that fight could end up getting boosted into the number 2 position. And then before you know it, you've got Wilder versus the winner of that fight. Listen, we know how the PBC and the WBC work. Don't be surprised of any of it. But if not, I'd like to see Otto Wallin take on Robert Helenius. They could get the European heavyweight title on the line. I believe Joe Joyce has vacated that one. If not, he should, to be honest with you, because obviously Joe Joyce is the WBO mandatory. But Michael Hunter, number 13, that rescheduled fight with Hughie Fury, that should be coming up mid to late September, so I'm hearing. So again, that's going to be interesting to see who wins that one. I believe Hughie Fury will, of course, win that one. But other than that, no great changes. I mean, it's not a bad 15. It's not bad, but as I said, I don't like the WBC's relationship with Deontay Wilder. They're too biased when it comes to the PBC. They're too especially biased when it comes to Deontay Wilder. But other than that, I can't complain with too much of it. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the top 15 for the WBC. Better late than never, WBC. Next month, try and release them a little bit earlier, please. Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video.